theyeshiva.net.
Okay, you test Amar Aleph, and I'm happy to share that today, as we finish the Rashi, we finished this whole sugya, Be'ezer Hashem, this whole sugya of which things can be susceptible to Tumah from food and from drinks, how Eichel transfers Tumah, how Mashke transfers Tumah, if it's Min HaTorah, if it's Midirabanan, if it's Yitma, if it's Yitame, and how far Truma and Kachim go. Although the Gemarah is going to mention this again on Daf Chav, but this discussion ends here, and the Gemarah goes on to a new topic. But we have a very long Rashi to learn. Let's just summarize the Nakuda of what we have been dealing with. The Gemarah has been dealing with the fact that Rabbi Akiva taught us Yitma means Yitame. And from here Rabbi Akiva learned that food not only is Mekabel Tumah, but food also transfers Tumah. Rabbi Yossi followed Rabbi Akiva's lead, and he said if that's true with food, it's also true with liquid. It also says Yitma Yitame. Liquid not only is Mekabel Tumah Min HaTorah, but liquid is also something that transfers Tumah Min HaTorah. The Gemarah learned that it doesn't transfer Tumah to things that are similar. Eichel is not Metame Eichel, Mashke is not Metame Mashke, but Eichel is Metame Mashke, and Mashke is Metame Eichel, and according to Rabbi Akiva, both are Min HaTorah. Both are Min HaTorah. The Gemarah also clarified at length that Rabbi Yossi himself disagreed with Rabbi Akiva, and Rabbi Akiva himself disagreed with Rabbi Yossi. They have two different shittas. When Rabbi Yossi spoke about his shitta, which is similar to Rabbi Akiva, he's not speaking about his own shitta. He's just explaining Rabbi Akiva's shitta, but he himself has a different shitta. And the Gemarah proved at length both sides of the argument, which was Rava's chiddush. Rabbi Akiva disagrees with Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Yossi disagrees with Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yossi disagrees with Rabbi Akiva because Rabbi Yossi believes that Truma goes till Shlishi and Kodesh goes till Revi. And if you would agree with Rabbi Akiva's premise that a Shlishi can be even by Chulin, a Sheni makes a Shlishi by Chulin, which Rabbi Akiva holds Yitma Yitame, that a Sheni can make a Shlishi by Chulin, Rabbi Yossi would be forced to say that Truma goes till Revi and Kodesh goes till Chamishi, because that's how the Kal V'Chaima would work. The fact that he doesn't do this means he holds that Chulin stops by Sheni and doesn't go to Shlishi. So he disagrees with Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva disagrees with Rabbi Yossi. He doesn't hold from the Kal V'Chaimas of Rabbi Yossi, because Rabbi Akiva also says that Truma only goes to Shlishi and Kodesh goes to Revi. And if he would agree with the Kal V'Chaim of Rabbi Yossi, he would also extend it much longer. Truma would be Revi, Kodesh would be Chamish. Elamai Rabbi Akiva rejects the Kal V'Chaim of Rabbi Yossi, and as a result of that, we come to the conclusion that Rabbi Yossi disagrees with Rabbi Akiva disagrees with Rabbi Yossi. Even though La Halacha they both hold that there's a Shlishi by Truma and there's a Revi by Kodesh, but they come to it from different places. Rabbi Akiva comes to it because he holds Yitma Yitame, that there can be a Sheni by Chulin and even a Shlishi by Chulin. So there's also for sure a Sheni by Truma and a Shlishi by Truma. And once Truma could be a Shlishi and Chulin could be a Shlishi, so when the Torah says that Basar Sheyiga B'chol Tamei should not be eaten, that means there could be a Revi by Kachim, because if it could touch anything that's Tamei, it gets burnt. Then Shlishi is called Tamei, because Yitma Yitame. If Sheni could be Metame, something else, that means Shlishi is called Tamei. If Shlishi is called Tamei, so Basar that touches a Shlishi is called Basar Sheyiga B'chol Tamei. So Rabbi Akiva knows there's a Revi by Kodesh. Rabbi Akiva doesn't need any Kal V'Chaimas. He has psukim for everything. He has a pasuk for Sheni, he has a pasuk for Shlishi, he has a pasuk for Revi, Amachaya. Rabbi Akiva has psukim, no Kal V'Chaimas, nothing. He has a pasuk for Sheni in Parshas Shmini, that if food falls into the Klei Cheres, the Klei Cheres touch the Sheretz, so the Sheretz is an Av, the Keli is a Rishon, and the Eichel is a Sheni, and then it says Yitma Yitame, right? So the next thing becomes a Shlishi, the Mashke becomes a Shlishi, and then it says Basar Sheyiga B'chol Tamei shouldn't be eaten, it should be burnt, so we have a pasuk for Revi also. So that's Rabbi Akiva's conclusion. Rabbi Yossi also holds a Shlishi by Truma and Kodesh by Revi, but not from Rabbi Akiva's sources, because Rabbi Yossi doesn't believe in Yitma Yitame. Rabbi Yossi holds Yitma is not Yitame. In other words, Mashke could become Tamei, Eichel could become Tamei, but it can't transfer Tumah Min HaTorah, only Midirabanan. So how then do you know that Truma can become a Shlishi? Chulin can't become a Shlishi because there's no Yitma Yitame. Sheni stops the cycle of Tumah, does not transfer Tumah anymore. So Rabbi Yossi had a whole Kal V'Chaimer that we explained, that Truma becomes a Shlishi because of a Kal V'Chaimer from Tful Yoim, and Kodesh becomes a Revi because of Kal V'Chaimer from Mechusah Kippurim, and that's how Rabbi Yossi reached his Shlishi and Revi interruption with the laws of Tumah. That's basically what the Sugya discussed, And finally proving that Rabbi Akiva Taka doesn't hold that there's more than a Revi B'Kodesh from the Mishnah in Chagiga, which the Gemarah explains at length. So now, today we're going to learn Be'ezer Hashem the Rashi. It's the Rashi that's the long Rashi of Daf Yutes Amud Aleph. Amar Le. You see, it's almost before the wide lines. Amar Le. Okay. We started to learn the Rashi a few shiurim ago, but we'll just learn the Rashi from the beginning. It'll be easier. Just also to clarify that at the end of the Gemarah we learned a machlokas between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Chanan if keli mitzaref is a din d'oraisa and a din of d'Rabbanan. So if you hold like Rabbi Chanan that keli mitzaref is a din d'oraisa because it says kaf achas, so then the Mishnah in Chagiga about keli mitzaref is not coming from the edus of Rabbi Akiva, because that's only midirabbanan. It's coming from the drasha of Reb Chanan, who says that keli mitzaref is a din min haTorah. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, thanks, who says that siruf keli is midirabbanan, so he could say that the keli mitzaref is learned from Rabbi Akiva, because Rabbi Akiva holds it's a din dirabbanan, as he puts it by gechalim and k'toris and levayin and chibas hakodesh, which is all a din dirabbanan. But the bottom line is that, according to Rabbi Yochanan, at least, Rabbi Akiva does not hold more than Revi B'Kodesh, and therefore, obviously, he doesn't hold like Rabbi Yossi. Says Rashi, Amar Lei. What's this Amar Lei? This Amar Lei is Reb Kahana answering Reb Ashi, because Reb Ashi asked Reb Kahana, how do you know that Rabbi Akiva doesn't hold like Rabbi Yossi? So Amar Lei tells him, Im Isadei Ashchalkim B'Davar Azeh. If it's true that some argue that there could be a Chamishi B'Kodesh, V'chiloy l'shtamet shum Tana, how is it that there's not one Tana anywhere who would say, who would give a Mishnah and tell us, Revi b'Truma, b'Chaducht, even in one place in Mishnah or Brayse, it should say that there could be a Revi by Truma and a Chamishi b'Kodesh. V'chitik shalach mani, and when you're going to ask a question, who would be this Tana? Name Rabbi Akiva. You'll say it's Rabbi Akiva. Elavade, Leslie, Rabbi Akiva, Kal v'Chaim, and Rabbi Yossi. Obviously, Rabbi Akiva doesn't believe this because he doesn't hold from the Kal v'Chaim of Rabbi Yossi, and we explained why. Mishum pircha the Dair Acher and Kedama b'Masechah Saita Asid Dair Acher and L'Tairis Ashlishi b'Truma Shana Metamen Oise b'Kal v'Chaim and Mitvul Yom. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said there's going to be a generation that's going to say that there's no Shlishi in Truma, that a Shlishi in Truma is Tar, because the Kal v'Chaimer of Tvul Yom that we use in order to make a Shlishi b'Truma, they're going to refute this Kal v'Chaimer. Malat Tvul Yom. Like the Gemarah says, V'der Acher and part of the generation is going to refute the Kal v'Chaim and say, Malat Tvul Yom shekein Av HaTumah. Tvul Yom is more chamor than Sheni, because a Tvul Yom is an Av HaTumah, and therefore it could be Metame Truma, where a Sheni can't be Metame Truma. The same Kal v'Chaimer you could refute also by Mechusah Kippurim, and therefore Rabbi Akiva does not necessarily hold from this Kal v'Chaimer, and therefore he does not believe that Truma and Kodesh can become a Revi or a Chamishi. Hilchach Rabbi Akiva nami de isle shlishi b'chulin. Even though Rabbi Akiva holds that chulin could be a shlishi, lo maisi shum maila tfeila truma b'kal v'chaim mitvul yoyim mishum ha'percha. He does not extend truma to another level and say that it becomes a reviv because of a kal v'chaim from tvul yoyim. Because l'chayre Rabbi Akiva could make the kal v'chaim and say ma'adacha tvul yoyim, who is muter to eat truma. Ma'adacha tvul yoyim, who is mutter to eat chulin, because he doesn't affect chulin. In the world of chulin, a tvul yoyim is completely tahir. And nonetheless, he's not allowed to eat truma, and if he eats truma, he makes it possible. So for sure, a sheni, according to Rabbi Akiva, a shlishi, for sure, a shlishi, that's possible b'truma, that it's called possible in the world of truma, right? A kohen is not allowed to eat it. So for sure, he can transfer Tumah and make Tumah to a Revi. And we're not going to say Daya, as Rashi says. Why we're not going to say Daya? Because Daya, we have a pasuk for. You don't need a Daya. We have a pasuk that Truma could be a Shlishi and Kodesh could be a Shlishi. We don't need a Kal v'Chaim. So the Kal v'Chaim should help me make Truma a Revi. And once I make Truma a Revi, I could make Kodesh a Chamishi. But Rabbi Akiva rejects all of this. Why? Because the Kal v'Chaimer he holds is not a Kal v'Chaimer. What's your Malat Tvul Yom? Tvul Yom is Taka, a fine Yid. He went to the Mikveh, and he's already on the way to Tara, and he's Mutter B'chulin. It's true, but he has a Chumrah that nobody else has, that Oichel doesn't have, that Mashka doesn't have. What's his Chumrah? His Chumrah is he was once an Ava Tumah. He was a source of Tumah. He was the bully himself. He was the source of the problem. Oichel and Mashka were never an Ava Tumah. They were always victims. They were always Mekabelim. So Mamela, The fact that Tful Yom has a crazy chumrah that it's metame truma doesn't prove to me that Sheni is metame truma, because Sheni in many ways is much better than a Tful Yom. Yes, in some ways he's worse than a Tful Yom, but in some ways he's much better. He was never an avatuma. This oichel was never an avatuma. This mashka was never an avatuma. It was food. It was drinks. A piece of challah is not an avatuma. A piece of a cup of water, a cup of coffee is not an avatuma. Maybe a rishon l'tumah, maybe a sheni l'tumah, maybe a shlishi, according to Rabbi Akiva, but it's not an av. And therefore you can't bring me rayas from Tful Yom. And the same as Mechusa Kippurim. Say Mechusa Kippurim is mutter b'truma, but he's also b'kodesh. So for sure, a shlishi could make a revi, and a revi, according to Rabbi Akiva, revi could make a chamishi. No, Mechusa Kippurim has a very serious kumrah, because he was once an avatuma, and therefore maybe that's why he's matami kodesh, and therefore Rabbi Akiva doesn't believe in the kal v'chaimer, and he stops by shlishi for truma and revi b'kodesh, and he does not go further. Okay, very good. So this is Rabbi Akiva's shit. So Rashi says, however, don't think that Rabbi Akiva doesn't hold from Shlishi and Revi. He does, but not from a Kal V'Chaim, and that's what we explained earlier. Shlishi, bein betruma, bein bechulin, nafkalon, mikra behedya, the darish yitma yitame. The fact that there's a Shlishi by chulin and by truma, Rabbi Akiva has from the pasuk yitma yitame, that food that's tameh could make other tumah. And this is food that's a sheni, so that means Rabbi Akiva holds shlishi. And if he holds shlishi by chulin, he holds shlishi by truma too. You're not going to say that there's a shlishi by chulin and not by truma. The pasuk doesn't make that distinction. The pasuk says yitma yitame, all foods that are tameh could be metame. That means we're not talking about truma food, we're not talking about chulin food, we're talking about any food in a keli, even chulin, even truma, no difference. So therefore, there can always be shlishi. Urevi b'kodesh nami. He also knows revi. Mivaha basar sheyiga b'chol tameh. It says basar that touches any tameh could not be eaten. It has to be burnt. It's a pasuk in Parshas Savo. Milo yaskin the naga b'shlishi. Is that not referring to basar that touches even a shlishi? The whole Rebbe Akiva hayil v'darish yitma yitame ashkechan shlishi deikru tameh. Because if you say yitma yitame, that means shlishi is called tameh. Because yitame means it could be metame something else. That means sheni could make a shlishi, so a shlishi is called tameh. Or mashkach, and b'memela, when it says habasar sheyiga b'chol tameh, what is it referring to? Basar which touches an av, basar which touches a rishon, basar which touches a sheni, basar which touches a shlishi. And if it's basar of a carbon, we're talking about a carbon shlomim over there, so it's kodesh. We're not going to say that there's revi by other things. We don't have a source for that. By truma, we have a source that there's sheni and shlishi for truma and for chulin. But for revi, we only have a source for kodesh. Habasar, the meat of a carbon shlomim, asher yiga b'chol tamei, lo ye'achal be'eshi saref. So that's why Rabbi Akiva takes us to revi. So therefore, the only argument between Rabbi Akiva and the other Tanaim at the end of the day is only in one area: if there's a shlishi by chulin or not. Most Tanaim hold there's no shlishi by chulin. There's only sheni by chulin. And there's shlishi by truma, and there's revi by kodesh. Rabbi Akiva holds there's shlishi by chulin and by truma, and there's revi by kodesh. But in terms of having a shlishi and revi by truma and kodesh, that Rabbi Akiva agrees. His only machlokes is that he's machmer that chulin has a shlishi, when most of the Tanaim hold that chulin doesn't have a shlishi. Chulin stops by sheni. So Rabbi Akiva practically holds that if you have a chulin that's a sheni, and it comes in contact with chulin, that chulin becomes a shlishi, right? Minatayra, that chulin becomes a shlishi. If I have a bulkala, a piece of challah that went into a keli that touched the sheretz, so my bulka is a shady, and I take my bulka and I dip it into milk. You know how people take their cookies and they dip it into milk, so that milk becomes, according to Rabbi Akiva, a shlishi. That's a shlishi. It's not going to transfer tumah, because a shlishi is not going to go further to revi, but if it touches a carbon, for example, of that milk, if I pour that milk on my matzah, my menachas matzah, right, it became a revi, and I can't eat that matzah anymore. I can't eat that matzah because that matzah is a revi. So Rabbi Akiva would agree with that extension from shlishi to revi. At kan, Rashi explains this sugya of the Gemarah. Now Rashi begins to address the general question of how you get to revi. We ignored that a whole time. How do you really get to revi? What happens to get to revi? I shouldn't say we ignored it. I gave illustrations, but the mechanism of it, how it exactly works, and how the tumah travels all the way to revi, becomes a little complex here in different shittas, which Rashi is now going to explore in detail. And this is the rest of the Rashi. Habasar asher yiga b'chol tameh. The basar touched anything that's tameh, which could be a shlishi. Since shlishi goes into the kol tameh, so automatically Rabbi Akiva learns revi, right? Automatically. According to Rabbi Yossi, that's not a raya. Why? Because shlishi is not tameh. Only sheni is tameh, right? Only sheni is tameh. So therefore, shlishi is not tameh. Since shlishi is not tameh, so habasar asher yiga b'chol tameh only teaches you that what? That is shlishi b'kodesh, but not revi b'kodesh. How we get to the V, you'll see it's going to be very clear. Not how we get to the halacha of Revi, how we get to the metzius of Revi. Not how we get to the halacha of Revi. How do we get to the fact, not the halacha, the metzius. What happened? The story, we're not talking about the halacha now. What happened, the setup? You'll see. Let's see, there's going to be a few challenges here, okay? There'll be a few challenges. Sagt Rashi, mashkachas la. You see mashkachas la? In the Rashi, the wide lines, the third line from the wide lines. Ashkechan shlishi deikru tameh. Sagt Rashi, mashkachas la da asi kodesh l'derevi hachi. How do you get to a revi? What's the story? What's the scenario that we got to a revi? Let me tell you what happened. Sheretz timei keli. A sheretz was matame a keli. Now, if it's a klei cheres, it was matame the ear space. And as a result of that, the keli became tameh. If it was not a klei cheres, if it was, let's say, a klei matches, the sheretz touched the keli matches. It touched the metal keli, and it became tameh. Fine. V'havale rishon. So the keli is a rishon l'tumah because the sheretz is the progenitor of tumah, and the keli is the first generation that received tumah. The keli oichel. Now you put food into this keli, and again, if it's a klei cheres, the food doesn't have to touch the keli. The food just has to go into the airspace of the keli. If it's another type of keli, the food touches the keli. So now this keli may tame the oichel, and the oichel becomes a sheni. Sheretz is av, keli rishon, oichel sheni. Next, v'oichel mashka. The oichel was metame mashka. Rabbi Akiva told us, right? Yitma, yitame. Rabbi Yossi said that's true for oichel, it's true for mashka. The oichel could be metame mashka. If the oichel could be metame mashka, so now this food, which is a sheni, which touched the keli, which is a rishon, which touched a sheretz, which is an av, this oichel fell into mashka. If the oichel fell into mashka, what happens now? Right? It becomes a shlishi. Mashka oichel. And now this mashka, which became a shlishi, yeah, you poured on a carbon. So the carbon became a revi. That's it. And Rabbi Akiva says everything is possible. So again, my sheretz fell into my cup, my keli. My challah fell into the challah became a sheni. My challah fell into a cup of wine, and the cup of wine became a shlishi, right? I'm eating my korban Pesach with a cup of wine, one of my dalit kaises, and the wine spilled a little bit. Your child comes and spills your becha, and the wine spilled on the lamb chop of the korban Pesach. What happens? Sorry, it's a revi. It has to be burnt. Habasa sheyiga b'chol tameh. It touched the shlishi. It's a revi. It has to be burnt. Min atayra. The mashke is metame oichel min atayra. Since mashke is metame habasa sheyiga b'chol tameh, it's metame. Fine. Geendigt is a revi. And the system works perfectly. Why? Because there's always a question, right? We said that min hatayra oichel is not metame oichel. And mashke is not metame mashke. By chulin for sure, by karbonis we learned a machloikus. But by chulin for sure, ein oichel metame oichel, ein mashke metame mashke. But this worked because it kept on alternating, right? Sheretz to the keli to the oichel to the mashke, and the mashke to the oichel. Next. Zok Rashi, the whole Rabbi Akiva, because according to Rabbi Akiva, Tumah mashkin dairaisa. The Tumah of mashkin, mashke is dairaisa. In other words, minatayda mashke not only gets tameh, but also transfers Tumah. Because Rabbi Akiva holds from yitma yitame. Huh? Rabbi Yossi, we thought holds that way, but at the end we proved that Rabbi Yossi doesn't hold that way. Rabbi Yossi lo savak Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yossi doesn't hold that mashka is matame achedim. He only holds so according to Rabbi Akiva. He's repeating Rabbi Akiva's chiddush, but he himself doesn't hold so. But Rabbi Akiva holds yitma yitame, that what? Like Rabbi Yossi explained the shit of Rabbi Akiva, not only oichel is matame, but mashka is matame. B'meila, it's not a problem to say that according to Rabbi Akiva, the mashka, which touched the oichel, which touched the keli, which touched the sheretz, transfers tumah min ha-Torah. Because according to Rabbi Akiva, when mashka is tameh as a shlishi, it could transfer tumah min ha-Torah, and to a carbon it will make it a revi. Even if it was a sheni, it would make a shlishi. Because Rabbi Akiva holds mashka could transfer tumah min ha-Torah, yitma yitame, just like oichel. Fine. Chamishi b'kodesh loy ma'isi b'kal v'chayim mechusei kippurim. Chamishi b'kodesh, Rabbi Akiva will not derive from a kal v'chayim of mechusei kippurim like Rabbi Yossi derived revi. He could have said, Ma'adach mechusei kippurim, who's mutter b'trum is asur b'kodesh for sure. A revi that's asur. He should say, Ma'adach mechusei kippurim, that's mutter b'truma. Mutter b'truma is asur b'kodesh, right? That's what you want to say, yeah. Madach mechusei kippurim, that's mutter b'truma is asur b'kodesh. So for sure, that which is asur b'truma, should make a kodesh, should transfer kodesh, and therefore kodesh should be a chamishi. So he says no, because ikal mifrach mala mechusei kippurim shekein avatum. Mechusei kippurim has a chumrah that it could be an avatum. Remember, a mother who gives birth has to bring a carbon. A zav has to bring a carbon. A mitzayre has to bring a carbon. These are all people who are mechusei kippurim, but they're avatum, so they have a special chumrah. So therefore, Rabbi Akiva doesn't acknowledge this kal v'chayim, and he's not going to bring a chamishi b'kodesh. Now it's interesting that Rashi says this vart. Rashi should have said a much simpler vart. If there's no revi b'truma, how are you going to get the chamishi b'kodesh? In other words, once we said that Rabbi Akiva doesn't believe in revi b'truma because he doesn't hold from the kal v'chayim malat full yaim, so you can't do your kal v'chayim. What are you going to say? Ma docha mechusei kippurim, who's mutter b'truma is asur b'kodesh, right? So certainly truma should pasel kodesh. Okay, so truma is a shlishi, so it can make a revi. How are you going to get to a chamishi? In other words, Rashi is saying you can't get to a chamishi because the mechusei kippurim kal v'chayim doesn't work. Let's say it does work. But if truma is not a revi, you can't get to chamishi. And Rabbi Akiva doesn't hold that truma gets a revi, so how are you going to get to chamishi anyway? But he doesn't hold from the kal v'chayim of full yom, we already said. So it's not negay if he holds from the kal v'chayim of mechusei kippurim or not. Even if the kal v'chayim of mechusei kippurim would be perfect, Rabbi Akiva would not be able to make chamishi b'kodesh because truma remains by shlishi.
Oh, but the pasuk, he learns from the pasuk, he would become a revi.
Ah.
In the pasuk alone, he becomes revi and chamishi. That's what we said.
Only by kodesh.
Yitma yitame, he learns chol shein b'chol tameh, that means it becomes a revi.
Yeah.
So the kal v'chayim would make chamishi.
In other words, why does Rashi have to say that the reason Rabbi Akiva rejects chamishi b'kodesh is because he doesn't hold from the kal v'chayim of mechusei kippurim? Because malam mechusei kippurim shekein avatuma. Why does Rashi have to say that? L'cha'oire, Rashi could have said pashat, because there's no revi b'truma. He doesn't hold from revi b'truma. L'cha'oire, for the kal v'chayim, you need to have a revi b'truma. What do you have? You don't have a revi by truma. Truma.
Chamishi b'chol tameh, he learns revi. And then he looks chamishi.
We said already that Rabbi Akiva doesn't hold from truma revi because he doesn't acknowledge the kal v'chayim from tvul yom. Right. From Mela, there's no revi b'truma. There's only a shlishi b'truma. If there's only a shlishi b'truma, how are you getting to a chamishi kodesh? You can get me to a revi kodesh. That you don't need because there's a pasuk. But how are you going to get me to a chamishi b'kodesh? You don't need this word malam mechusei kippurim. that he's an Avatuma. Let's say Mechusik Kipurim wasn't an Avatuma and it was a good Kal V'Chaimer. How are you going to get the Chamishi? You're skipping 2 steps. Revi for Kodesh, but not for Truma. How are you getting to Chamishi b'Kodesh? Again, I'll explain to you. A Kal V'Chaimer works. How did the first Kal V'Chaimer work? Ma de Chatvul Yom. Who's allowed to eat Chulin is not allowed to eat Truma. So for sure, Sheni, which is possible Chulin, passes Truma. In other words, you take it 1 step further. Then you go, Madach Mechusik Kipurim. Who's allowed to eat Truma is not allowed to eat Kodesh. So for sure, Shlishi B'Truma could make a Revi b'Kodesh. That's Rabbi Yossi's Kal V'Chaimer. So we said that Rabbi Akiva doesn't agree with the first Kal V'Chaimer of Tful Yom, and therefore he's not going to make a Revi b'Truma. So Truma is going to stop by Shlishi. And Revi will stop by Kodesh, because for Revi you have a pasuk. Rashi is saying, why doesn't Rabbi Akiva hold Chamishi b'Kodesh? Because the whole source of Chamishi b'Kodesh is going to be from the Kal V'Chaimer of Mechusik Kipurim, but it's not a good Kal V'Chaimer. Just like we rejected the Tful Yom Kal V'Chaimer, we could reject the Mechusik Kipurim Kal V'Chaimer. Why? Because Mechusik Kipurim is an Avatuma. Frekt sich der Shaila, what does Rabbi Rashi have to say this whole pshat that Mechusik Kipurim is Avatuma? Let's say Mechusik Kipurim was not Avatuma. Let's say Mechusik Kipurim was a perfect Kal V'Chaimer that's irrefutable. You still wouldn't be able to get the Chamishi. Because what are you going to say? Madach Mechusik Kipurim, who's allowed to eat Truma, is not allowed to eat Kodesh. Okay. So for sure, a Shlishi b'Truma should what? Should make a Chamishi b'Kodesh. I can understand the Shlishi b'Truma should make a Revi b'Kodesh, which you don't need a pasuk for. How do you get the Chamishi? You can go 1 step further. How are you getting 2 steps further? But Rashi doesn't say this. Rashi has to bring a Chisaron in the Kal V'Chaimer. So the Marsha says that you would say this. You would actually go 2 steps further, and I'll tell you why. He says like this. You would say a Kal V'Chaimer like this. Ma'adach Mechusik Kipurim is allowed to eat Truma. Meaning, Truma is not possible for Mechusik Kipurim. In the world of Truma, Mechusik Kipurim is perfectly pure. Nonetheless, a Mechusik Kipurim is not allowed to eat Karbanas. So for sure, Shlishi, that's possible b'Truma. In the world of Truma, Shlishi is possible. Should he not be able to make a Revi b'Kodesh, which would then make a Chamishi b'Kodesh? The Truma would make a Revi b'Kodesh, and the Revi b'Kodesh would make a Chamishi b'Kodesh. All right, well, 1 second. Why are you going so far? How did you say that? Say Dayoi. Dayoi. He says no, because for Shlishi and Revi b'Kodesh, you don't need a Kal V'Chaimer. Because for Shlishi and Revi b'Kodesh, according to Rabbi Akiva, you have a pasuk. So therefore, you're not going to say Daya here, because you have a pasuk that goes you till Revi. So what are you going to use the Kal V'Chaimer for? To make Chamishi. To make Chamishi. Even if you're not making a Revi b'Truma, because you have a Kal V'Chaimer from Tvul Yom that was refuted, but make at least Chamishi b'Kodesh. That what? That a Shlishi of Truma could make a Revi b'Kodesh, and the Kal V'Chaimer will teach you that a Revi b'Kodesh, which came from a Shlishi b'Truma, should be able to make a Chamishi b'Kodesh. Because for Revi b'Kodesh itself, you have a pasuk. For Shlishi b'Kodesh itself, you have a pasuk. So what's the Kal V'Chaimer from Mechusik Kipurim going to do? That Kachim is much more Chamor than Truma, like you see by Mechusik Kipurim. What's going to be the Chumrah? The Chumrah is going to be that it could become a Chamishi. Says Rashi, you can't do this because the whole Kal V'Chaimer doesn't begin to exist according to Rabbi Akiva, because Mechusik Kipurim is an Avatuma. So in Mela we don't say Chamishi b'Kodesh. No, since for Shlishi and Revi b'Kodesh we don't need a Kal V'Chaimer because we have a pasuk. So what's the Kal V'Chaimer from Mechusik Kipurim going to do for me? It would allow me to make a Chamishi b'Kodesh. It would allow me to say that Kachim is more Chamor than Tmura. In what sense? To become a Revi, to become a Shlishi like Truma. For that I have Psukim. I have a pasuk for Shlishi, I have a pasuk for Revi. So what's the Kal V'Chaimer going to help me for? Kal V'Chaimer is going to help me to extend the Chumrah all the way to Chamishi. That even though Truma can't be a Revi and can't be a Chamishi,
What do you mean? It's not a Kal V'Chaimer.
why not? Why not? Yeah. Madach Mechusik Kipurim is mutter b'Truma, is possible b'Kodesh. So you see the Chumrah of Kachim. L'gabe Truma, so a Shlishi that's possible b'Truma. Right? So it's worse than a Mechusik Kipurim. Because it's possible in the world of Truma, right? So that Shlishi should be able to touch a Revi b'Kodesh and make a Revi. 1 second, and furthermore, and the Tumah should travel even further, that the Revi, if it touches a Chamishi, becomes a Chamishi. If the Revi touches another piece of meat, becomes a Chamishi. You'll tell me, Dayoi, Dayai. It's enough if Kodesh becomes a Shlishi, or at least a Revi, don't go to Chamishi. And then I tell you, I have psukim for these. I have a pasuk for Shlishi, I have a pasuk for Revi. So what's my Kal V'chaimer for? My Kal V'chaimer for is to go to Chamishi. That's why Rashi says no, because Malam Mechusik Purim, because Mechusik Purim is an Avatuma. That's how the Marsha explains why Rashi has to add this word, Malam Mechusik Purim, that it's Avatuma. So you do need this pircha. You do need this pircha. In other words, I'll put it differently. We learned before that Rabbi Akiva holds Revi B'Kodesh because it says Habasar Sheyiga B'Chol Tameh. But this pasuk is extra. This pasuk is extra because you can already learn Revi B'Kodesh from a Kal V'chaimer, from a Mechusik Kippurim. Learn Revi B'Kodesh from a Kal V'chaimer from Mechusik Kippurim. Ma'adach Mechusik Kippurim is Mutter B'Truma is Asa B'Kodesh. For sure, Shlishi that's Pasal B'Truma is Pasal's Kodesh. You have a good Kal V'chaimer? Huh?
If you don't have a pasuk for a V.
No, for Shlishi B'Kodesh I have a pasuk because it's not worse than Truma.
Okay,
So Mela I go one step further.
Why?
I have a pasuk for Shlishi. I don't need Shlishi. Right? So if I say Daya, I have no Kal V'chaimer. So give me a Kal V'chaimer for a V. What do I need a pasuk for a V? So I would say, like we said before, the reason I have a pasuk for a V is to tell me that the Kal V'chaimer should go till Chamishi. The reason I have a pasuk for a V. So what do I need a Kal V'chaimer? So you want to say, well, Daya. I don't say Daya here, like Rashi said, because for Shlishi I have a pasuk. So for Shlishi I'm covered. So what am I going to use the Kal V'chaimer for the V? So what do I need a pasuk for? Shlishi I'm covered because Yitma Yitama is Chul and Truma, Kodesh, everything. Remember, we're talking about Kiva. We're not talking about Be'ez, we're talking about Kiva. Elamai, I have a pasuk for a V. So what do I need a Kal V'chaimer for? Oh, I know. To take me to Chamishi. Because what do I need a pasuk for a V? I have a good Kal V'chaimer from Mechusik Kippurim. What do I need a pasuk? So maybe I'll go one step further. I'm not going to go to Shishi, but I go to Chamishi. It makes sense. Remember, Shlishi Kodesh, I have a pasuk. I'm going to use the Kal V'chaimer from Mechusik Kippurim to tell me that there's Revi B'Kodesh. But I have a pasuk. So what do I need a pasuk if I have a Kal V'chaimer? So you'll say Daya. What's the Daya? Daya is I should be like Shlishi. I should be like Truma, but I have a pasuk for that. So the Kal V'chaimer lets me go to the V. So what do I need a pasuk for? Oh, I know why. So I should be able to take the Kal V'chaimer to Chamishi. Not to Shishi. You can't go two steps, but you can go one step.
Then you'll say to make a shishi?
No, where am I going to get a Shishi?
There's no, but let's say there is. Then you'll say to make
If I have a pasuk for Chamishi. If I have a pasuk for Chamishi.
Then I'll go to Chamishi and shishi. There will
If I have a pasuk for Shishi, I'll go to Shvi. The Kal V'chaimer, one step further. That's I'm not asking you for two steps. Kal V'chaimer was that Kachim is more chamer than Truma. I said Truma. But for Revi, you have a pasuk. What do I need a pasuk? I have a Kal V'chaimer already. Kal V'chaimer already tells me to go to Revi. So I would think Pashat. Because without the pasuk, I would stop by Revi. I'm not saying Dayoy because I have a pasuk for Shlishi. But without the pasuk, I would go to Revi. The pasuk is telling me Revi is covered. Use your Kal V'chaimer to go further. Use your Kal V'chaimer to go one step further and say, Kachim has a Chamishi. That's what you should do. How could you go so far as Chamishi? I'll tell you Pashat, because if not, Mifrach Kal V'chaimer. If not, the Kal V'chaimer becomes useless. Because I don't need a Revi B'Kodesh from a Kal V'chaimer. I have it from a pasuk. And whenever the Kal V'chaimer gets bottled, we don't say Daya L'bam and Adin Liyas Kenidin. We learn out of Pesachim. A Mechusik Kippurim doesn't make a Chamishi, right? A Mechusik Kippurim, let's say, make something that's similar to a Revi, if you want to call that. Yeah? But B'Kodesh, I would say you can make a Chamishi. So that's why Rashi says that the whole thing doesn't begin because the Kal V'chaimer doesn't exist. You can't learn from a Mechusik Kippurim a Kal V'chaimer for Revi because it's an Avatuma. So maybe you're left without a Kal V'chaimer. Even without that. So you need a pasuk for Shlishi, you need a pasuk for Revi, You don't have any kal v'choimers b'chlal. If you don't have any kal v'choimers, you couldn't use the kal v'choimer for Revi, you can't use the kal v'choimer for Chamishi, and therefore you're done. By Revi, you're done. That's it. Now Rashi goes to the next step. We do have a problem. The Rabbi and Rebbe Lazar said clearly on Daf Tazayin Amid Aleph that mashke cannot transfer tumah min ha-Torah. They can become tumah, but they can't transfer tumah. Well, Rabbi Yossi nami do kim the less loy the lay loy svir lay. And Rabbi Yossi also we explained that he himself doesn't hold like Rabbi Akiva yitma yitame, and he holds that mashke could become tummy but not transfer tumah. Heichi mashkachas kodesh boli derevi. How can it ever be that a carbon becomes a revi? Rabbi Yossi says that a carbon could become a revi. How can it ever become a revi? Let's tell you the problem. Sheretz keli, a sheretz could be metame the keli. Haver yishin, the keli is a rishon. Ukli oichel, the keli give you metame oichel. Haver sheni, the oichel becomes a sheni. The oichel mashke, food could be metame mashke. Have a shlishi becomes a shlishi. How will there be a revi? Mashke cannot transfer tumah min ha-Torah. Since mashke cannot transfer tumah min ha-Torah, according to them, how will you ever have a revi? That's his problem. Huh? Oichel became a sheni. The oichel was metame mashke min ha-Torah, so the mashke became a shlishi. It can't be the oichel was metame oichel. It can't be oichel metame oichel. Oichel is metame mashke, right? So the oichel was metame mashke. So the mashke became a shlishi, because oichel ain't metame oichel. So mele oichel is metame mashke. So mashke was a shlishi, but it doesn't transfer to min ha-Torah, according to the Rabbi. So where do you get a revi? Unless you want to say it's not min ha-Torah. That's what Rashi is going to say. According to Rabbi Akiva, fine.
No, I'm saying, yeah, but if
because Rabbi Akiva holds mashke transfers tumah, but they hold mashke doesn't transfer tumah. Clear Braisa Daf Tazayin, Rabbi Meir holds it doesn't transfer.
Right, but
Rabbi Lazar holds, and we just learned Rabbi Yossi agrees with them.
right, but if the oichel would have been a shlishi, does that transfer to a kachin, even though it's oichel?
There was a shitta that mashke is b'chalal not mekabel tumah, only midrabanan. There was a shit of Rabbi Yehuda that we thought that mashke is matame even kalim. Fine. Those are the extreme ones. But the shit of Rabbi Meir, mashke is makabel tumah, but it's not matame. Then we learned the shit of Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon, that it's matame others, but not kalim, only mashke. Mashke is matame oichel, but not kalim. But the Gemarah rejected and said Rabbi Yossi doesn't agree with this. Rabbi Yossi was only following Rabbi Akiva's shit when he said that, but he himself disagrees. So what happened? How did it become a revi? Reb Shimon was like Reb Yossi, that it's metame. It's metame oichel, but not kalim. But Reb Yossi was Reb Yossi. We changed. We said Reb Yossi was only saying it according to Reb Akiva. So Reb Shimon won't be a problem. Zolzain. But I have a problem. He says Reb Meir, Reb Lazar, and now Reb Yossi. It's not metame oichel midrabanan. It's mashke is not metame achedim midairaisa. V'nireli zakrashi dal karchach le mashkachas lo elam midrabanan. According to them, the only revi could be midrabanan. There can be another revi. Abbas hashiga b'chol tamei if it touches a sheni. If it touches a sheni, let's say you have mashke that's a sheni and it touches a carbon, that carbon becomes puzzle. You have a pasuk for shlishi. And then we learn even a revi, bekal v'chaymer, but he says the revi is only midrabanan, because mashke could be metame oichel midrabanan. V'teida, proof for this nekuda, is I'll bring you proof. But before we get to the proof, what was established here? What was established here is that according to Rabbi Akiva, revi is midairaisa, right? Sheretz keli, rishon. Keli oichel, sheni. Oichel mashke shlishi. Mashke touches a carbon and becomes a revi. Okay? How can shlishi make a revi? Because the mashke was truma. We learned, right? Truma could become a shlishi and it can make a revi. Or maybe it was even a mashke of carbonas. It was a liquid of carbonas. Because Rabbi Akiva holds mashke is metame other things min ha-Torah. Okay? We learned mashke beis hamit b'chayim is Torah, but if you hold that mashke is metame other things min Torah, obviously beis hamit b'chayim is also metame. And even if you hold halacha l'moshe Sinai, it's Torah, like Rav Papa's shitta before on Daf Zayin, but if it's not in the place of the Azor, it's metame. So mele, it can become revi. But that's only according to Rabbi Akiva. But if you hold Reb Meir and Reb Elazar, or you hold like Rabbi Yossi, right? So you have a problem. Why do you have a problem? The keli touches oichel. The oichel becomes a sheni. The oichel makes a mashke shlishi, but the mashke can't transfer tumah because mashke is not metame. So Rashi says, according to this opinion, revi b'kodesh is only midrabanan. And Rashi says, Teid, I'll prove it. What's the proof? They learn the Kal V'chomer for revi, but it's only going to work midrabanan. He's going to say v'teida. If you can have a metzias. Eminut v'teida doktani la legabe milas she doktani legabe milas the chaymer b'kodesh the kaima hasam the kulu mi the rabbanan ninu, which means I'll prove it to you. This din that is revi b'kodesh and chagiga is discussed in the Mishnahs among the chumras that kachim have legabe truma. In the Perek Chaimer b'kodesh me'betruma, in Chagiga Daf Chav, there's a Mishnah Chaimer b'kodesh me'betruma. All the stringencies that karbonos have over truma, and he goes through different milas, different steps, different chumras, elevated stringencies by karbonos that don't exist by truma. The Kaimalon Asam we learned over there in Chagiga, the Gemarah there, the Kula Midrabanan, and all these chumras of Kachma Midrabanan. V'zeu, and this inyan, Revi B'Kodesh, is mentioned there. Mechamish Mailas Achronis is one of the last 5 chumras by Kachim over Truma. V'amar Hasim, that Chamish Achronis Leslu Drada the Tumah D'Oraisa. And he says there that the last 5 milas don't have a chashash of Tumah D'Oraisa. It doesn't have a chashash of Tumah D'Oraisa that you're going to get Tumah D'Oraisa. But Mela from here, Rashi says you could see it's an inyan of the Rabbanon. But Masechta Soita Nami Suga the Shmaita the Rabbi Yossi the Rabbanon Azla. And also Masechta Soita that discusses the din of Rabbi Yossi the Revi B'Kodesh Pasel is talking about only a Tumah de Rabbanon. So that's the Gewaldige Chiddush of Rashi, that according to many of the Tanaim, when they spoke about Revi, they were speaking about a rabbinic Tumah. They had the Kal V'chomer. The Kal V'chomer was just explaining why the Rabbanon would want to add a new category of Tumah by Kachim. Why they would want to do it. In other words, if Revi could become Tamei Minat Torah, if there was such a Metzias, you would make it to a Revi from the Kal V'chomer. But L'Poyel Midirat Torah, it can't happen, because Mashke can't be Metamei Yoichel. But since Midirabbanon Mashke could be Metamei Yoichel, so the Kal V'chomer tells them that you can extend Tumah to Revi. But in Torah, Pashat in Metzias, it can't happen. In theory, you have the concept, but in Metzias it can't happen. But since Midirabbanon, in Metzias it could happen, because the Oichel could be Metame Mashke, and Mashke could be Metame Oichel Midirabbanon, it's not a problem. Only Minat Torah Mashke is not Metame Oichel. But Mela Dirabbanon made a din of Revi.
Even though usually Kal V'chomer means
they use the Kal V'chomer, so the Kal V'chomer would be Minat Torah, but here it can't happen. It just can't happen.
right. So
In Metzias it can't happen.
Maybe it's a proof for Rabbi.
What's the proof of Rabbi Akiva? The proof is
That the Torah says Rabbi.
no. Kal V'chomer just means that if this could be a shlishi, this could be a revi. Yeah. If this could be a shlishi, this could be a revi. So they hold from it. They agree with it, but they say pashta in Metzias. The Torah doesn't say the Kal V'chomer.
I know it doesn't say, but
The Torah doesn't say the Kal V'chomer.
makes the option to say whatever.
But the Torah gives room for the Kal V'chomer. You're saying what we said before, the whole thing with Daya and everything, that you don't say Daya, because there's a pasuk for Shlishi, so you go to the V. No, that allows the Chachamim to make the Kal V'chomer. How can they make a Kal V'chomer to the V when you have Daya? So for that we said, since there's a pasuk by Shlishi, they can make the Kal V'chomer. But they're only doing it for Tumah D'Rabbanan, because not for Tumah Minat Torah.
Interesting, because usually you say the Kal V'chomer is the right.
But you can have Tumah him in Torah. And he says, right, for oichel shlishi l'Rabbi Yossi b'kodesh dekarmel v'lamadnu shlishi b'kodesh min Torah meheichen kibla. Another question. Rabbi Yossi said, habasar asher yiga b'chol tamei teaches you that the basar that's a shlishi of kodesh becomes tamei, right? Where did it get tameh? How did this oichel become tameh? The basar, what did it touch? It touched other oichel. Ein oichel matameh oichel. It touched mashke, but mashke is not matameh min atayra, so you're stuck again. Habasar sheyiga b'chol taima. What is that talking about? Then? He doesn't hold yitma yitame. Mashke is not metame. So mele basar sheyiga b'chol taima. What did the basar touch? He said it's talking about a case where basar touched a sheni. But let's understand what that means. If a basar touched an avatuma, I have no problem. It says habasar sheyiga b'chol taima. If basar touched mashke, it can't work, even if the mashke is a rishon. Why? Because mashke is not metame min atayra. Elamai touched oichel, but oichel is not metame oichel l'chayre. We learned oichel is not.
What did you say? It's a higher level of mashka. It's like a zav.
But Rabbi Yossi holds no mashkes ever.
A zav spit. The yark of a zav. What Rabbi Yossi hold about that? A higher level of mashka.
You're saying if the mashke is an avatuma.
Yeah.
You're saying if the mashke is an avatuma.
We're letting a regular mashka to say we don't get to reveal.
That's good, but Rabbi Yossi says that the basar shiga b'chol tamei teaches me that if the shlishi touches a sheni, it becomes tamei. If it's a mashka of a zav, it's an avatuma. You're right. Then you're right. But he says that the pasuk is talking about a shlishi shenaga b'sheni. So I need a sheni. Oh, Tazah. Exactly. You never have such a metzias. I can have a basar that touches an avatuma mashka. I'm good. I can have a basar that touches a mace. I can have a basar that touches a sheretz. I'm all good with that. But that's basar that becomes a rishon, not shlishi that touches a sheni. So how can Rabbi Yossi say such a thing? Something is off here. According to, if you would say, if you say mashka is mashpia tumah, I have no problem. It touches a sheni, that's mashka. No, anything that's tumah.
Anything, even
Huh? If it well, apparently it means if it transfers tumah.
What?
If it transfers tumah. So Rashi says you have a big problem. Al karchuch me oichel kibla. You have to say it touched oichel. Usvirile that tumah oise kayotze ba bekotchem. You have to say you have no choice. The B'yosi hold that by chulin ain't oichel matamei oichel, but by kotchem oichel is matamei oichel. If you remember, we learned before on Daf Yudalit, there were three shittas how you learn oichel and oichel. One is ain't oichel matamei oichel ever. That would be a problem. And then you have the shitta of Rabbi Barava who says ain't oichel matamei oichel by chulin, but by truma and by kotchem it does. And then finally you have the shitta of Abaya that even truma it's not matame, but kotchem it's matame, right? You remember Daf Yudalid Amar Aleph in the beginning of the sugya we learned three shittas how you teach oichel ain't oichel matame oichel. For sure by chulin ain't oichel matame oichel. That's for sure. Ain't oichel matame oichel, right? So that's one shitta. But Abaya holds that's not. But it's only chulin. But truma and kotchem oichel is matame oichel. Yeah. Rabbi Barava says chulin and truma oichel is not matame oichel, but kotchem is matame. And then there's one shitta Ravina who holds it's never oichel is never matame oichel. I just have to correct the name. So Ravina says never works, but the other two shittas hold it does work. So Rabbi Yossi would hold like that by kotchem oichel is matame oichel, so the sheni could touch a shlishi of karbonis and make it tameh. Fine. V'oichel de betame mashka. What about food transferring to mashka? Kiv and the loy darshi yitma yitame lo yadana mehechanafka. What about food being metame mashka? We have a bigger problem. Forget revi. What about shlishi? The oichel in the keli we said touches mashka, which is a shlishi, and the mashka, which is a shlishi, is metame the oichel midirabonon, right? But I have another problem. How do you know that oichel is metame mashka? Also from yitma yitame. If oichel is metame mashka from yitma yitame, so you're stuck with the same problem. A sheni can't even make a shlishi. Let's say the oichel touched the keli or touched the sheret. So what happens now with the oichel? By anything. How is oichel metame mashka? You don't learn yitma yitame. So if mashka is not metame mashka, if mashka is not metame oichel, so oichel is not metame mashka either. So we're stuck. We have a very big problem here. If you don't hold yitma yitame, And that's why Sheni can't make Shlishi and Chulin, right? And that's why Mashke is not Metame other things min HaTorah. So how do you know that Oichel could be Metame Mashke of Chulin? Maybe it's not Metame.
Only Yitma Yitama form.
Because you don't learn Yitma Yitame. You don't have Yitma Yitame anymore. So how do you know Oichel is Metame Mashke? So now you tell me like this. The Keli touched the Sheretz, and then the Oichel touched the Keli, and what happened now? The Oichel touched the Mashke. That's not Tameh. So Sheni doesn't become a Shlishi ever. Oichel is not Metame Oichel, right? Unless by Kachim according to the B'yosi. So you can say according to the B'yosi, Oichel is Metame Oichel by Kachim, so the Sheni could become a Shlishi if it's Kachim, and then the Shlishi could make a Revi if it's all Kachim. But if it's not Kachim, if it's Chulin, Oichel is not Metame Oichel, even Truma is not so Parshat. But what about Oichel being Metame Mashke? That we assumed, yeah, Oichel is Metame Mashke, right? We said the Sheni makes a Shlishi, and the Shlishi becomes Pasul by Truma, right? And then it makes a Revi. Midirabonam. But 1 second, even Oichel being Metame Mashke is a problem, because there's no Yitma Yitame. So how do you know the concept of Oichel being Metame Mashke? That's what Rashi says. For Oichel the Metame Mashke, Kiven the loy darshi Yitma Yitame lo yadana me'echan afka. I don't know where they learn it from. Ilav me'haikra. Unless we use that pasuk that we learned by Tumas Sheretz. V'chiyutan mayim al zera. You remember, if water fell on a seed, and then the corpse of a sheretz falls on it, v'nafal menivlasam alav. So we learned tamehu. The seed is tameh. So v'darshinim we learned from this on Daf Yudalet. Hu tameh ve'enei oisek hayotzeba. We learned before Daf Yudalet, Daf Yudches. Tamehu. He's tameh. But he can't replicate the tumah to other eichel. This is where we learn that eichel is not metame other eichel. So he says like, me the itzrich kral the miyuta kayotze. But since the Torah has to say tamehu, he's tameh, not anything else. Meaning he can't transfer to other eichel. Miklal the metame achedim. He could be metame things that are not like eichel, like mashke. V'chitei metamehu. What if you're going to say tamehu means harehu tameh ve'eni metame achedim? He's not metame at all. Im kein lishte kraminei. And v'licht of tameh. It could have just said tameh. Tameh means it's tameh, doesn't transfer tumah. Why does it tamehu? Tamehu means it does transfer tumah, but I still have to minimize it and say he's tameh. Something else is not tameh. Could have just written the word tameh. The word tameh would mean there's no transference of tumah. Why do you have to say tamehu? Tamehu means already somebody else is getting the tumah, but not somebody else. In other words, you're minimizing the expansion of tumah. Just say tameh. Tameh means you're tameh. It doesn't say yitame. It says tameh. Why do you have to say tamehu? Tamehu teaches me, whoa. The tumah does transfer. But you have to make a limit. Tamehu, he's tameh and something else is not tameh. I didn't think something else is tameh. Right? You want to say this child was zoiche in a goyrel. So you'll say, yeah? This child was zoiche in a goyrel. Then you say, this child was zoiche in a goyrel. He and not him. Why would you think him? You just said he. That means everybody else, yeah. You understand? You could have just said tameh. What if they say tamehu? He and not somebody else. So who you're minimizing? You're excluding eichel. Ein eichel metame eichel. But eichel metame mashke. Eichel metame mashke. You don't say eichel metame kelim or eichel metame adam in HaTorah. That doesn't work. They could only become tameh from an avatumah. But eichel is metame mashke. That's what we know from it. That's what Rashi says. Okay? So if that's the case, we just have a source that the Torah teaches us, even if you hold mashke is not metame, but eichel is metame. It's not metame other eichel, but it's metame other mashke. So therefore they have no problem. If a keli becomes tameh, the keli is metame the eichel is a sheni, or the eichel is a rishon. The eichel touches mashke, that mashke becomes a sheni, or if it's truma, it becomes a shlishi. And now you have a shlishi truma min ha-Torah. How? If the mashke touched eichel. If the eichel touched mashke, there's no tumah at all. But if the eichel touched mashke, you have a shlishi truma. If not, you wouldn't have a shlishi truma min ha-Torah, right? Because how would you have it? It can be mashke truma that touches eichel because it's not metame. It can be eichel truma that touches mashke because it's not metame. So you wouldn't have to. So you have to say shlishi truma is also midirabbanan. You have to say everything is midirabbanan. We don't say that. Revi we said is dirabbanan, but not shlishi. So Rashi says why not? Because they do hold that eichel transfers tumah to mashke. That, yeah. Since eichel transfers tumah to mashke, so any sheni could make a shlishi truma. And once you have a truma, mashke, it can make revi midirabbanan, according to their shit. Right? According to Rabbi Akiva, none of this is a problem because oichel is metame mashke, mashke is metame oichel, everything is good. But according to the other shittas, mashke is not metame anything, minat Torah. So mashke can never transfer tumah. So if the sheni is a mashke, it's not transferring tumah. If the mashke is a rishon, it's not transferring tumah. Mashke is not transferring tumah, right? You got it? Unless it's what he said, tumah zav, the ava tumah. What about oichel? If oichel is a rishon, can it transfer tumah to mashke? And then the mashke could transfer tumah to oichel. Mashke can transfer tumah to oichel. But can oichel make mashke a sheni? Maybe not. So then there's nothing. So oichel never transfers tumah. So the keli transfers tumah to the oichel and it never goes anywhere else. So we say no. Oichel can be metame mashke. So if the keli is a rishon and makes the oichel a sheni, the oichel will make truma a shlishi min hatoira. Even though we don't learn yitma yitami, but we have another pasuk tamehu, and that's the pasuk that teaches me that ain't oichel metame oichel, but it also teaches me that oichel is metame mashke. Why? Cause the who. For Rabbi Akiva, I don't need it because Rabbi Akiva I have yitma yitami, but for these shittas, Rabbi Yossi and the others, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Lazar, I have this tamehu to teach me that oichel is metame mashke. Rashi is now left with another question. So Rashi, Truma becomes a shlishi, but it can't become a revi.
But you could use it only if you went to.
Because Tamehu is talking about food that touched the sheretz. So it's talking about a rishon. Tamehu is a case where food touched the sheretz. So the food is a rishon. It had to be muksher. So in that case, I learned from here that the food could be metame other mashkas that it touches, but it cannot be metame other oichel that it touches. Yes. Right. Exactly. If it was talking about a sheni, this would be a good proof that a sheni could make a shlishi. Very good. That was Rabbi Akiva's proof from Yitma Yitame. Rabbi Akiva's case is Yitma Yitame over there. It's talking about the food touched a sheni. It touched the keli, which touched the sheretz. So when you say yitame, you learn from there that sheni makes a shlishi. And that's why Rabbi Akiva learned that sheni could make a shlishi by chulin. But they're learning that oichel is matame mashke from the pasuk tamehu. That pasuk is talking about oichel that touched a sheretz. So it's oichel that's a sheni. That's oichel that's a rishon, because it touched the sheretz. So all I could learn from there is that what? That mashke could become a sheni. Not that mashke could be a shlishi. Truma, they learned, could be a shlishi from a kal v'chomer of tvul yoim. So if my bulkala, if my challah of truma touches the liquid, right, that touched oichel, that touched the sheret, so my truma becomes a shlishi min ha-toira. And then my truma could make my carbon a revi midira bonon. Yes. Once my truma becomes possible, it could transfer truma to kachim. If you say oichel matame oichel by kachim, it can even be min ha-toira, right? Right? And if you say ein oichel matame oichel by kachim, it's only going to be midirabbanan, like by mashke.
The sheretz touched keli.
Sheretz touched the keli is a rishon. The keli touched the oichel is a sheni. No. The oichel touched mashke, so the mashke becomes a shlishi if it's truma. But now when the mashke touches the carbon, it's not tameh. That's what Rashi's question is. So how do you have a revi?
So this
But
pasuk
then you
actually,
have
this pasuk gets you to the last step where stop to be a third.
Exactly.
then you have no shlishi, no?
Shlishi truma you can have because oichel matame mashke, but mashke can't be matame oichel. So how did you get a revi b'kodesh? How did you get a revi? Tell me what happened. The carbon touched liquid, so the liquid didn't transfer tumah. So the carbon touched food, right? What did it touch?
What did you say? Tell me. What did you say? Pasuk.
But if you say ein oichel matame oichel, so the carbon didn't touch food, so the carbon touched liquid, but liquid doesn't transfer tumah.
But the pasuk says that Parshas who come it should be pasuk. It doesn't. Three doesn't.
No, this is a rishon. This is food that touched the
I'm
sheretz.
saying to get to a third truma, you get the truma as a third.
Oh, the distinction of tamei apostle is only rabbinic terminology.
So you could call it whatever you want.
Yeah, it was just the rabbis, for our convenience, used that, so we would right away know. Yeah. The question you have to ask is something else. If you hold that oichel is metame oichel, by kachim you could get to revi. Just do oichel. And yeah, that's the problem. Now, if I say ein oichel metame oichel, I understand why it's the rabbana.
Only by kudishim or also by truma? You say.
So I thought there's three shittas. Shitta number one is ein oichel matame oichel ever. And then there's another two shittas, right? Abai and Rabbi Barava, if it's only kachim that's exception, or even truma is an exception, and oichel is matame oichel. It's three shittas daf yadal and amar aleph from the beginning of the sugi. So if you say it's b'chalal not matame, fine, I understand. You're always going to be stuck. Because Rishon, Sheni, Shlishi, how you getting? You have to put in mashkin over there. And once you put in mashke, you're not going further. So you have to say it's the Rabbana. I got it. But once Rashi says that Rabbi Yossi holds that by kachim oichel is matame oichel, because if not, he wouldn't have a case of Shlishi, touching a Sheni and becoming tameh. Because ein oichel matame oichel, and Sheni has to be a mashke, but mashke is not matame. So once you hold that oichel is matame oichel by kachim, so then you can have a revi b'kodesh, even according to Rabbi Yossi. Why? Pashat. Oichel rishon touched oichel sheni touched oichel shlishi touched oichel revi. Or a keli touched oichel sheni, and the sheni touched shlishi kachim, and el kachim, you could do it. Why does Rashi say that there's no revi b'kodesh min ha-Torah? Once Rashi says that oichel is matame oichel, there is a revi b'kodesh min ha-Torah. So you have to say, as some want to say, that you have to say according to this, that even if oichel is matame other oichel, sheni can't be matame shlishi. In other words, even if oichel could be matame other oichel, but sheni can't be matame oichel shlishi. So you're not going to have a tumah that's lower than shlishi midoraisa. That's what you're going to say. You're not going to have that, right? Midoraisa, the sheni will not be matame the oichel shlishi. That's what you could say. That's what he brings from the Maharshal. He brings from the Maharshal that you have to say it's because it's if not you're stuck. The Maharshal asks, Reb Shlomo Luria asks, why does Rashi say there's no revi b'kodesh min ha-Torah oichel is matame oichel b'kachim? So he says, because remember, we're even struggling to find a source that oichel matame mashka, because it says tamei hu. Hu means ein oichel matame kayotze boy, but it's matame mashka. According to this, you could say like this. Oichel that became tummy from a keli could be metame oichel. Oichel that became tummy from a keli could be metame oichel. But oichel that became tummy from oichel, he says perhaps, so bechulin this oichel is bechlal not nitma. By kachim this oichel is metame oichel. So you could say legabe tumas atzmai, but not legabe tumas achedim.
And if the first oichel was true,
yeah, that's what he wants to say. He wants to say, that's a big chiddush in other words, that even though oichel one could be metame another oichel, but the sheni can't be metame oichel shlishi, which means, I don't mean sheni shlishi in terms of madrega, I mean sheni shlishi in terms of numbers. In other words, oichel metame oichel could go one time. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant, Sheni Shlishi. But the next oichel won't be metame the third. This number two won't be metame the third piece. So he says, so you're not going to get lower, right? So let's say
It must be from Kylo.
no, the busser of a carbon, will touch oichel that touched the keli. So that oichel is a sheni, and this busser became a shlishi, but it's not going to bring it to the next level. So you're not going to have a revi. That's what the Marshal says, is you have no choice. Rashi has to learn it that way. Rashi has to learn that somehow it goes one generation, but the oichel can't do it further. He can't do it further because the chiddush is that it could be metame other oichel. That's what he says, and he explains because they don't hold from yitma yitame. The whole reason why oichel could transfer tumah to mashka is because it says tamei hu, right? So oichel can't be metame oichel, but it could be metame mashka. Yeah. So if you say that, he says, by chulin, oichel is not nitme at all. By kachim, you say that, that oichel is matame oichel, but that's it. It can't go further. Another way is that Slach says that Rabbi Yossi holds like Rabbi Adar Rav, who says, by kodesh oichel matame oichel, but not by truma. So therefore you can't have oichel shlishi betruma, because it doesn't have from where to be tame. Because mashka is not matame, and oichel is not matame oichel. So maybe you don't have a kal v'chayim from a chusik kipurim that shlishi makes a revi bekachim, because the whole kal v'chayim is because shlishi is possible with truma. But since oichel shlishi is not possible with truma, according to this, because ain't oichel matame oichel, and it's not tummy for mashka, so therefore you can't get to revi. That's the tzlach's word. Okay, listen, it's different. It's a little hard to understand. The Rosh Yosef says l'chayre you can have a revi ben atayra through a tful yom, right? Because if a tful yom touches truma, like kodesh, l'chayre he makes it a shlishi, and if he makes it a shlishi, so then when they touch if they touch mashke, the mashke will become a revi. So oichel kachim can become a revi, but mashke kachim could become a revi from touching truma that touched the tful yom.
One time you get from Tamayim.
By kachim, you're saying. So I'm saying if the kachim touch if the tful yom touches truma or kodesh, it becomes a shlishi, right? It becomes a shlishi. Oh, so you're saying no, but it's truma. If it's truma. Oh, if it's kodesh, it touches another eichel. Yeah. If it's truma, not necessarily. Yeah. But even if it's truma, it could touch mashka and make it minatay. That's another mahalach, but Rashi is also not good as that. Because he doesn't hold its tight shlishi. Tful yom that touches it is not the gather of shlishi. Well, like Tosfos before. Okay, medaf ma'ayin. Let's finish the Rashi here. One last piece. V'i kasha, Rashi stays with one last question. The last question is this. I'll just remind you so we'll understand the question. We learned in Daf Tesvav that Rabbi Yirmiyah said there was a machlokes in our Mishnah. Remember, Reb Chanina's Gan HaKoyanim. Reb Chanina's Gan HaKoyanim taught us about how they burnt the meat in the Beis HaMikdash, and from there Reb Meir learned that you're allowed to burn Truma Tahira together with Truma Tmei Erev Pesach. And Rabbi Yossi rejected it. Why did he reject it? Because Rabbi Yossi holds that mashke is metame oichle min atayra. So he rejected Reb Meir. Reb Meir holds not. But now that we said Rabbi Yossi doesn't hold it, so why was he arguing with Reb Meir? That's what Rashi is going to say now. V'i kasha hoyel mashke loy metame acherini. Since mashke doesn't transfer to Rabbi Yossi, sulay metukem asnissen keteratz to the Torah Rabbi Yirmiyah le'el. So the Mishnah before on Daf Yudalid, you cannot establish according to the explanation of Rabbi Yirmiyah, who said that what? That Reb Chanina's Gan HaKoyanim was talking about that they took meat that became tamei from mashka, that became tamei from a keli, that became tamei from a sheretz. So it's a shlishi l'tumah. Okay, the sheretz was matame a keli, so the keli is a rishon, and then the keli was matame the basar. The keli was matama the mashka, so the mashka is a sheni, and the mashka was matama the basar, so the basar was a shlishi. And Reb Chanina said that you could burn it with basar that touched an avatuma, which means basar that's a shlishi, you could burn with basar that touched an avatuma. You're being moisif tuma because you're making it a sheni. So that's what Reb Chanina said. So from here, Reb Meir learned that you're allowed to burn truma of chametz that's tahir in the 6th hour erev Pesach with truma tmeya and make it tamei. Reb Yossi said it's not a clear comparison, it's not a fair comparison. So Reb Meir said why? Because va'az Reb Yossi l'tamei. Reb Meir hold that mashke tamei can only be metamei the rabbanon, but Reb Yossi holds that it's metamei min atayra. So mele they go l'shitase. Reb Meir holds you're allowed to be metamei trumas chametz even when it's only asam the rabbanon, just like you could be metame psar kodesh that was nitma b'mashke because the tumah is only midirabbanon. Why? Because the whole tumah is only midirabbanon. Because remember, mashke is only metame. Still, he holds that you could be at metame. But Rabbi Yossi holds that this basar is tamei min atayra, so maybe you can't prove for chametz. In other words, we explained the argument between Rabbi Yossi and Reb Meir in the Mishnah based on how they learned Tumas Mashkem. Reb Meir holds Tumas Mashkem is never min hatayra. It's never metame min hatayra. So the basar never became tamei min hatayra. And still you're allowed to be at metame with a tumah. So from here you could learn that Tumas chametz you're allowed to be metame. And Rabbi Yossi said no, it was metame min hatayra. So he says, Hada kushin l'duchta, my enei amida. Why did Rabbi Yossi reject him? Midu midi, because they both hold the same thing. That mashka is only metame de rabbanon. So Rabbi Yossi, why did Rabbi Yossi reject Reb Meir? He holds the same thing. According to the maskana of the Gemarah, Rabbi Yossi holds that what? That mashka is not metame acherim in atayra, only mit rabbanon. So this basar that became tamei from mashka, that became tamei from a keli, that became tamei from a sheretz is only tamei mit rabbanon. And still, Reb Chanina said you're allowed to be at metame from the original basar shnitna b'avatumah. He said loy tikshi. Lo yitikshi dechiu kimne va'azu Rabbi Yossi l'tamei basar taime da hamas nisa the Rabbi Yossi aliba the Rabbi Akiva kimne the darish yitma yitame da mahamai sin and sayatale. So Rashi says it's not a problem. When Rabbi Yirmiyah said Rabbi Yossi is following his shitta, he doesn't mean his shitta. He means the shitta of Rabbi Yossi and the Braisa, which is explaining the shitta of Rabbi Akiva. Because the source that he brings is Yitma Yitame. That's what Rabbi Akiva said. And Rabbi Yossi is explaining in Rabbi Akiva. It doesn't mean Rabbi Yossi personally was arguing with Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yossi personally may not be arguing. Rabbi Yossi, following, explaining the shit of Rabbi Akiva, is arguing with Rabbi Meir. Perhaps, in other words, when Rabbi Yossi said, Einehi Amida, so Rashi says, Midu Mida, it's not a question. Why is it not a question? Because again, just like we said here, Rabbi Yossi is not talking himself, his own shit, he's explaining Rabbi Akiva. So Rashi says the same nekuda. When Rabbi Yirmiyah says Rabbi Yossi said this l'shitosoi, he doesn't mean his shit, he means his shita in explaining the shit of Rabbi Akiva. That mashka is metamei achedim min atayna. And Rashi concludes, Vani shamati, I heard, that Rabbi Yossi, I heard that some people say, this is the last piece in Rashi, Rabbi Yossi islay yitma yitame gabe mashkin. Rabbi Yossi himself does hold yitma yitame by liquid and by food. When he says he doesn't hold like Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Rava said he doesn't hold like Rabbi Akiva, it means ba'ahi da oichlin. It means when it comes to food, the Rabbi Akiva amaron le'inyan Tumah oisa kayotzeba. When Rabbi Akiva said yitame, that's what he means. Legabe Tumah oisa kayotzeba. Rabbi Akiva holds oichel metame oichel. And Rabbi Yossi holds ein Tumah oisa kayotzeba. That's what he means. He's arguing that it's not metame oichel, is not metame other oichel. But Mela va'achshav, if you say that's what he argues, Rabbi Akiva. He argues on one nekuda, that Rabbi Akiva holds yitma yitame even oichel metame oichel. And Rabbi Yossi doesn't hold that, but he holds from the principle that mashka could be metame and oichel could be metame. Mela va'achshav atabala de revi. So now you can have a revi. Why? Minatayre, because you have sheretz keli and keli oichel and oichel mashka and mashka oichel. Why is mashka oichel? Because we say that it doesn't mean he completely rejects Rabbi Akiva. He just rejects one nekuda. Rashi says v'iev shelamidu b'pnei kama tshuvas. This pshat you cannot hold on to because of different refutations. Umiyu, but I want to say regardless, Reb Meir da'ama behedya tumas mashkin l'tamei achedim lav deiraisa loy meshkachas l'revi elam edrabban. Even if you want to say this, there's no question that according to Reb Meir, it says clearly that mashka doesn't transfer tumah min ha'Torah. Reb Yossi, you can argue. Does he agree with Rabbi Akiva or not? But Reb Meir for sure holds this, so there's only a revi midrabanan. Why? Because how could the revi become in ha'Torah? It's impossible. Why is it impossible? Because we said the oichel is not going to be mitame oichel so far down. And we're also saying that what? That you need a mashka, and the mashka is not going to be metame the oichel. The oichel won't be metame the oichel, and the mashka won't be metame the oichel, and therefore you have to have it only mi the rabbanon, because oichel will be metame mashka, but mashka will not be metame oichel, so the whole concept of revi will only be mi the rabbanon. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion according to this is, if we want to summarize mamish about tumah from oichel and mashka, according to Rabbi Akiva, the way Rabbi Yossi understood it, mashka is metame oichel min ha'Torah. Not a question, but mashka will not be metame mashka, will not be metame kelim. Oichel will be metame mashka min ha'Torah, but it will not be metame oichel, and it will not be metame kelim. Right? At least according to the way we understand Rabbi Akiva, even though just now in Rashi we had this last vart that Rabbi Akiva maybe disagrees, but at least according to Rashi's shitta, oichel could be metame mashka, mashka could be metame oichel, oichel can't be metame mashka, oichel can't be metame oichel, mashka can't be metame mashka, and both cannot be metame kelim. Rabbi Yossi himself, what does Rabbi Yossi himself hold? He holds that mashka could be tamei min ha'Torah, but it can't be metame anything min ha'Torah, and oichel could become tamei and also be metame mashka min ha'Torah, but not kelim. Not kelim. What about oichel becoming tamei through oichel? Rashi says that Rabbi Yossi holds that by kachim, oichel could be metame oichel. By chulin he doesn't say, but by kachim we learned that oichel could be metame oichel. What about by chulin? Right? By chulin we say ein oichel metame oichel. By truma it's not clear, but Rabbi Yossi by kachim holds holds that it's metame according to Rashi. We did limit it according to the Marshal and say it only goes one from oichel to oichel, but not to the next. Reb Meir holds mashke is bechlal not metame anything min ha-Torah. Can't be metame anything min ha-Torah. Oichlin, Reb Meir doesn't discuss, but clearly mashke cannot transfer tumah min ha-Torah, even though it's tamei min ha-Torah. Then we learned the shit of Rebbe Lazar that mashke is not metame achedim min ha-Torah at all. The question is if it's even mekabel tumah min ha-Torah. According to Rebbe Lazar, many hold that it's bechlal not mekabel tumah min ha-Torah, and oichel he doesn't discuss. Rabbi Yehuda, we said, holds that mashke is metame, oichel, and even kalim. He doesn't speak about oichel with oichel, but he says mashke is metame, even kalim. But then the Gemarah says Rabbi Yehuda regretted it, and he holds that mashke is not metame kalim. It's not metame kalim. That's Rabbi Yehuda regretted it. And finally, Reb Shimon said like Rabbi Yossi initially, that what? That mashke is metame oichel min ha-Torah, and that's what he said l'chatchila together with Reb Shimon, with Rabbi Yossi. This is all min ha-Torah. Midirabanan, everything is different. Oichel is metame oichel, mashke is metame mashke is metame oichel, and oichel is metame mashke, of course. About tumas kelim, there's a difference between mashke and oichel midirabanan. What's the difference? Mashke will be metame kelim dirabanan, because of the gzeira of mashke of zav, which is an av hatumah, and can be metame kelim midiraisa. Oichlin will never be metame kelim, even midirabanan. So even though midirabanan everything is metame everything, oichel, mashke, oichel, mashke, when it comes to kelim, it changes. Oichel will never be metame a keli. That means even if you have an oichel that touched a mace, touched a sheretz, touched anything, it will never be metame oichel. But mashke, that's tamei, even though kelim, mashenken mashke, that's tamei, even if it's a small level of tumah, meaning it's a sheni. Midirabanan, it could be metame a keli, even though a keli can't be a shlishi. But let's remember that midirabanan, every mashke becomes like a rishon. So mele make the keli a sheni. It'll make the keli a sheni. Mashke zav will make the keli a rishon, because it's everyone holds, because it's not, that's an avatumah. That mashke is an avatumah, and a keli could become tamei from an avatumah. But a regular mashke that became tamei from another avatumah, that mashke can be metame kelim in ha-Torah. Kelim can only become tamei from an avatumah, and adam also only from an avatumah midiraisa. But midirabanan, they said that a keli could become tamei from a mashke, even though it's not an avatumah, even though it's a sheni. But oichel could never be metame a keli. The reason why they were worried by mashke is because sometimes a keli could get tamei from mashke min ha-Torah, and they were afraid of confusion, right? There's going to be a zav, he's sitting, and he puts cereal and milk in his breakfast bowl, yeah? And you say, oh, the bowl is not tamei, because it touched the milk, and the milk touched the zav, so what? So the milk is a rishon, but the keli doesn't get tamei from the milk, but it has a little spit of the zav in the milk, a little saliva. What happened to the keli? It became tamei min ha-Torah. They just made a klal that all mashke is metame kelim if it's tamei. However, if it's oichel, there's no such chash. Oichel could never be an avatumah. So mele oichel is never metame kelim. So that's the concluding rule. Okay.
This class is brought to you by theyeshiva.net. Please help us continue the classes. Make even a small contribution at www.theyeshiva.net/donate.